Audible is not like Netflix for audiobooks. You do not get all the audiobooks you want for one monthly price. And that is just the beginning of what I learned about Audible. Hi, it's Kelly here. If you're new to my channel, I encourage you to stick around and join the community by hitting that big red subscribe button down below to see my new videos every single week. So just in case anyone doesn't know, Audible is Amazon's audiobook service, and it basically allows you to get audiobooks and a bunch of free Audible podcasts straight onto the app on your smartphone. Now, after using it for a few months, I can safely say that the collection of audiobooks they have on there is pretty vast. I haven't been able to search for anything so far and not find it, which is pretty impressive. So with Audible, you can either just buy an audiobook straight up, or you can pay for the monthly membership. And when buying the audiobook straight up, it really is just as simple as going onto the website, logging in with your Amazon account and just buying the audiobook. And to give you an idea of price, most of the audiobooks that I have seen on there are usually between about £5 and £20. Now, let's talk about the membership. So possibly naively, when I was investigating Audible to actually get it for myself, I just assumed it was like Netflix or Prime Video or any of those other services where you pay one monthly price and you get all of the audiobooks that you want straight onto your phone. But friends, it doesn't work like that. So the way that an Audible membership works is that it is on a credit system, and one credit equals one book. When you buy the basic monthly subscription, which is $7.99, you get one credit a month, aka one book a month. And there are so many different options depending on how many books you actually want to read. Obviously, the more books you get in a month, the more credits you get, but the more money you pay for your monthly membership. And of course you can buy extra books on top of your monthly membership if you want to, but you will pay whatever the standard price for that audiobook is. So naturally this led me to the question of, is it actually worth it? Well, over the last few months I have been testing out so that you don't have to. So I'm going to give you a breakdown now of what I think the good things are about it, what the bad things are, and whether it's actually worth it. So let's start with what the benefits are of Audible. So for me, one of my goals for 2021 was actually to read more, and I struggle to sit down and read paper books. As much as I try, I usually can only read maybe about 10-15 pages a day, and I really wanted to be consuming content from books a lot faster. So for me, one of the key benefits of Audible is the on-the-go nature of it. I usually walk my dog for 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening every single day. So now what I do is I listen to my audiobook in those 30 minutes, and I get an extra hour of reading without actually really realizing I'm getting it. So I can spend this hour of the day absorbing loads of information from a business book, a lifestyle design book. My favorite one at the minute is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Hit me up in the comments if you've read that one. It's a very, very good book. On top of this, within the app, you can actually download the audiobook to read when you're offline or don't have any signal, which is obviously great if you are out and about or going on walks or in the car or that kind of thing and you don't have any Wi-Fi or any signal. Now, the other big benefit for me is really just that you're getting most of these audiobooks at a lower price when you get the membership. So when you look on the app, most of the audiobooks are more than $7.99 a month. Not in all cases, but in most cases they are. So actually for $7.99 you are getting the book at a cheaper price, which is great. For example, I just spoke about The 4-Hour Workweek. That one was, I think, about, trying to remember how many hours of content there was. It was somewhere between 10 and 15 hours of listening time, and that one usually is about £20, and I got it for $7.99 obviously through using the membership. So that's one of the key benefits, I think, of the membership style. Now, I do think that there are some drawbacks to Audible that you need to be aware of. So firstly, with it not being unlimited, you need to be pretty sure about the book that you're buying before you buy it, because once you buy it and you start listening to it, you're not going to be able to change your mind. You can't go back and pick another book at the end of chapter 1 if you think, actually, I don't really like this. But there are a couple of things you can do to make sure that the book that you're buying is the one that you're actually going to want. First thing I recommend doing is actually just going to Amazon and checking out what the reviews for the book itself are. Usually gives you a pretty good idea of whether it's worth buying or not. On top of that, within the Audible app, there is actually a sample button. So what you can do is you can listen to a sample of what the audiobook will sound like. That's great because not only can you hear if the content is the kind of thing that you want, but you also get to hear the narrator's voice to figure out if you can actually listen to them for 8 to 10 hours. And on that, let's quickly talk about narrators. So for the vast majority of the books that I have seen so far, it's actually the author who is reading the book, which is great because I think they've got the passion about it and they understand it the best, so they're the best person to be reading the book and they read everything in the right way. But for some books, particularly ones which are a little bit older, the narrator can be less than human sounding. For example, as I said, I've been listening to the 4-Hour Workweek recently, and Tim Ferriss doesn't actually narrate this book, it's done by someone else. And although they do it pretty well, they do have a little bit of a robotic sounding voice, and I don't really feel the same connection to the book as I probably would if Tim Ferriss was the one who was actually reading it. And that just makes it a little bit harder to listen to. Just be aware of that and make sure that you listen to the free sample before you actually decide on that audiobook. Now, the only other drawback, and it's really more of an inconvenience than anything, it's not necessarily a really bad drawback, is that you can't actually purchase audiobooks directly in the Audible app. You have to go to the website to do that. It's not really the end of the world, as I say, it's more inconvenient than it actually is a massive issue, but it's just something to be aware of just before you actually do decide to buy this. I spent a good 20 minutes in the Audible app going,
where is the button that allows me to buy this book? Like, why can't I find it?
Before realizing that I had to be on the web browser to actually buy the book. So yeah, just so you know. So is Audible actually worth the money? So for using it over the last couple of months, personally, I would say yes. If you're looking to start out with audiobooks, I think that it is a really great service, and it really helps you consume audiobooks while you're trying to do other things. I think the pricing is pretty reasonable given how expensive books usually are. I mean, it definitely could be lower, but I am willing to pay it because you do get a really good amount of content and a lot of listening time. Additionally, you can cancel at any time, which means that you're not tied down to something for a set period of time. So even if you try it out and you don't actually like it, you can just cancel it. So I really hope you guys have found this review helpful. I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below which allows you to get the first month free, so if you're interested, make sure that you check that out. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you can see my next video, and I will see you all in the next one.